Picture an extreme summer night. The air is heavy, humidity wraps around you, skin burns, and there's no escape from the suffocating heat. This physical extreme pushes the human body past its biological limits, triggering a clinical emergency known as heat stroke, often called a LU. It happens when your core temperature is driven past 40 degrees Celsius and your internal cooling system stops functioning. In the 2003 European heatwave alone, over 70,000 people died, and in the United States, heat stroke continues to claim hundreds of victims every year. These deaths are the end result of a cascading medical failure, a total breakdown of the body's internal machinery designed to keep you cool. But these microscopic biological failures are happening because we are living inside a macro-level planetary cooling system that is currently out of balance. Earth regulates its temperature through a natural greenhouse effect. Without an atmosphere to trap heat, we would end up like the moon, swinging from boiling daytime highs to minus 130 degrees Celsius at night. This diagram illustrates Earth's heat budget. Shortwave solar energy arrives. 35% reflects away off ice and clouds, albedo. The rest absorbs, then radiates back as slow heat. Greenhouse gases trap just enough to keep our average temperature between 15 and 17 degrees. That equilibrium held until the Industrial Revolution. We shifted the budget by burning fossil fuels on a scale unseen in millions of years. We dug deep underground to extract ancient carbon sinks, materials that safely stored carbon away from the atmosphere, and turned them into active sources. By burning them, we pumped carbon dioxide, methane, and potent fluorinated gases into the air, thickening that greenhouse blanket. By artificially increasing the density of these gases, humanity has forced Earth's heat budget into a compounding thermal surplus. On a human scale, our bodies operate on a nearly identical heat budget, balancing the metabolic heat we generate inside against the environmental heat we absorb from the outside. The body's primary defense against overheating is evaporative cooling. When you get too hot, your body pushes warm blood towards the skin and releases moisture as sweat. As that sweat evaporates, it pulls the heat away. Global warming evaporates more ocean water, increasing atmospheric water vapor. This creates a collision. In high humidity, saturated air cannot absorb sweat. Evaporation halts, leaving the body with nowhere to send its heat. This is a problem of physics that cannot be solved with local folklore, such as the myth that keeping a raw onion in your pocket can protect you from a heat wave. When the macro environment stops evaporation, the human body's microbudget runs a lethal thermal surplus, but it cannot escape. The threshold for biological failure begins when the core body temperature crosses 40 degrees Celsius. At this point, sweating often stops entirely, leaving the skin red and dry. The brain begins to misfire, causing severe confusion, dizziness, and delirium. At a microscopic level, cellular respiration is disrupted, and enzymes break down. Without a way to shed heat, organs begin failing in rapid sequence. Without immediate, aggressive medical intervention, this thermal overload is fatal for even the healthiest individuals. Saving a heat stroke victim requires bypassing the failed evaporation system entirely. Doctors must force the body's temperature down through rapid conductive cooling. This involves plunging the patient into ice water, using aggressive fanning, or spraying them with cool water to physically pull heat out of their system. Earth is currently running a similar fever, and it requires an equally aggressive cooling intervention. We are dealing with decades of previous emissions already locked into the atmosphere. This carbon guarantees further warming for years to come, even if all emissions cease today. Reversing this thermal surplus requires an immediate transition away from fossil fuels and the protection of the natural carbon sinks we have left. Just as a heat stroke victim needs immediate intervention to survive, we must mitigate our planetary heat surplus before we permanently cross the biological limits of human survival.